Hey, what up, YouTube? Merry Christmas Eve to everyone who is watching this today. This is our OOP review of all the cards I've used. But before we start, there's going to be a Twitter link down below. If you guys have Twitter, please click that. Let's go viral. Let's go viral, right? So the first thing I want to do is cover all the cards that I've used. We'll go over the prices, etc. I'm not really going to look at them on my team. I'm just going to look at them in the binder, right? And we just want to cover the OOP cards that like honestly that I've used, right? That I've used. Are they good, bad, whatnot? So first, linebacker Steve Atwater with his pick six chemistry. Great budget linebacker in my opinion. He's got the hit power. He almost can cover really well, and I know he's pretty cheap now, but he's also 6'3". He's fast. He does a lot of really good things. There's some things I don't like about him. His agility is a little low, and for him having a pick six chemistry, his catching is low. But all in all, this card is, I mean, this is a really nice card. It's not a great card, but for a budget side, this card really truly is amazing for what he can do. He gets to a lot of places. He's got good hit power. I would recommend if you are doing any sort of budget team that this card makes its way to your roster 100% because I mean he's got double chemistry. He's got an ability. You can't really beat that for the value. Up next, fullback Bus. Great for short yardage. Great for short yardage. Better than the defensive end Bus. And I've really only used him a couple times to like for fullback dives and stuff like that. But he's a fullback. He's not. I mean, he's a good fullback. You know, he's running back Bus at fullback, and for the price, you're not gonna get that kind of trucking and stiff arm and all that. You're not gonna get that sort of deal with him anywhere else. Very good card. He does come with Battle Ready, and that's a great thing where you can actually activate Battle Ready with him. So if you happen to have like a secondary running back or something like that who has Battle Ready, but you don't want to start them because maybe you're starting Barry with like Never Stumble, Bus is great. Halfback Derek Brooks, who I've tried, and this card is terrible. It's bad. It is really bad. Both the Derek Brooks cards are really bad. He's going to go into an elite token set at some point. Honestly, he is. Up next, tight end Dwight Clark. Premium. This is a premium tight end. The best budget tight end in the game, hands down. He passes Evan Ingram, in my opinion. He does everything really, really, really well. Like, really well. So well, he could play receiver for you at times as well, just because he's got a really high run block. So if you need to spread him out wide, for a set where you're trying to run the ball, maybe like a trips tight end, this card, he plays really well. He's a big target. He's got playmaker. Like he really has everything you need. This card will be on my team. Like I know he's not, but he's actually going to be in my roster. Maybe the entire year. Unless we get someone who truly surpasses him easily and is also as cheap or as budgety as possible. I recommend everyone pick up this card. Linebacker Landon Collins. Very good card. Very good card. His price right now is insanely low. Everyone should have this card on their team. Again, one of the best budget values in the game. Now for me, with boost, he's got 91 zone, so you're probably not going to have that. But still very, I mean, you've got speed, you've got hit power, which is great. I mean, his block shading and some of his other stats aren't great. But just, I mean, he's so good. He's so good. For 15 to 20,000 coins, you're not going to get anything better than that. You know, we look at some of his stats. Yeah, his block shed's a little low. His play rec's a little low. You know, his catching stats are low. His stats don't blow you away, but he plays well, and he is super cheap. You could at least have him as your backup and sell whoever you have as a backup and make some coins that way. Up next is the best card in the promo so far, tight end Bo Jackson. I know halfback Bo Jackson is very, very good, but tight end Bo is so much better than every other tight end, whereas running back Bo is very similar to other cards. You can't get this skill set at tight end with any other card in the game. Additionally, you can sub him in and you can fullback dive people with him. I've been doing it all weekend. Phenomenal. This card, to me, is one of those cards that's going to go down in MUT lore for myself as just an amazing, amazing card. I love it. Now on the defensive side, I used to have cornerback Bo Jackson. He was okay. He didn't get a lot of animations for me personally. He obviously got off blocks pretty well, but I didn't see enough of it. I just didn't see enough of what I really wanted to see from him. So we changed to left outside linebacker, and I think this is 100% the move. He's so balanced. He plays so well. He just doesn't have 91 zone. If he had 91 zone, he was another card that would probably be on your team until June, May, sometime like that. That's how good this card had the potential to be. It's still very, very, very good. And he can do whatever you ask him to. He can go into coverage. He can rush. He just plays so well. He plays so well. I think defensively, everyone should have a Bo at linebacker. Now, punter. Punter Bo to me is 100% the move because you can put him on kickoffs, right? And when you punt, he booms the ball. He booms the ball. But his accuracy is low, and his kicker accuracy is low as well for the kicker, which is why I wouldn't say go get the Bo kicker, because the only thing he provides that would be useful is speed, but on like fake punts, Bo can throw the ball. On kickoffs, he's got the speed and he can get down there. So you can do everything you need with him at punter, but kicker, I would get some. I mean, the other kickers aren't too expensive now anyway for people with 92 kick power, and they're much more accurate. Now, this card. I know a lot of people probably have looked this card off. I was willing to sell my Ed Reed at safety for this card. He plays that good. I've convinced other people to do this. This is another card who needs to be on every single team. He's perfectly fine. He does so well. He does so well. Now I want to show you guys like a real comparison here, because I don't want anyone to think that CeCe's being a homer, because I'm not being a homer with this pick. I'm not. I am not being a homer at all. Let's look at Ed Reed, right? Big Ed Reed. Where's the big Ed Reed? Right here. We're going to compare him to Julio Jones, right? Ed Reed beats him everywhere. One speed, couple excel, big jump and play rack. But that's not his coverage. He plays nearly the same as Ed Reed, right? But let's look at the other stats where people's like, oh, well, he's just going to get run all over. Well, Julio has +4 strength. That's pretty good. Julio has better catching, which means he gets better animations. Again, pretty good. Tackling, Julio only has 3 less. Right? That's interesting. That's interesting. Julio's a better jumper. He's 4 inches taller. Like, there's so much that's good about this card. Block shed 9 less. Okay, that seems like a lot, but is it really? Pursuit 73. I know that's low, and it is low, and that's probably where he takes the biggest hit out of any stat. And then hit power is obviously less as well, but 64 hit power isn't bad, right? If you need someone, and if you don't have Sean Taylor, if you just need a backup, Julio Jones needs to be on every single roster in the game. No questions asked, no doubt. You see, I have a good team. I have a lot of coins. Julio is on my depth chart. And he'll stay there until there's another Julio, which is probably a golden ticket. Up next is probably... This Paul Krause is really good. He's the free safety version, but he's at cornerback. Free safety Paul Krause covered half the world for a long time. Cornerback Paul Krause also covers about half the world. This card really is amazing. He really is. He's just a little slow, but when you compare him to some of these other higher rated cornerbacks, he doesn't have the speed, the acceleration, the agility. But look at his catching. 93 with Kem to Randy Moss, who is 93. So, Paul Krause cornerback. If you guys did the Bo set, you should 100% have him. Now we get to a couple of the cards which people are going to say they have problems with. Randy Moss. We're going to cover Moss and Vic at cornerback. Both of these cards, on my team, with the way I play, with my boost, because they both have 91 zone on my team, literally are the best cover corners I've played with all year. Without a doubt. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know if it's speed, agility, acceleration, catching. I don't know what it is. But Michael Vick at corner and Randy Moss at corner are indeed the best players I've had in coverage all year long. Without a doubt. Without a doubt to me. Which is crazy. Now I know that they have maybe some tackling problems. But the way I see it is, I don't lose tackling. I only lose the potential fumbles on the outside. And I'm okay with giving up the prayer of a fumble for better coverage, personally. Now, for their tackling and their block shedding, they get to the ball very well. Now, when they get juked out, they're going to get juked out the same way that your Eric Allen is. Or your Mel Blount. Everyone's going to get juked out the same. So that doesn't matter. Now, do they miss tackles at times? Sure, but the fact that they at least get to the ball very frequently is all I ask for, and then we can clean up tackles. Now for the guards, Okoye and Singletary, they will single-handedly change your game with pitches and tosses. Great cards. Great cards. Now, linebacker Ed Reed. I have him, and I like him, but I could also still have kept Derek Brooks, honestly. He makes plays. He's done some really good things, and there's times he's done nothing, which is the exact same as Derek Brooks, which is the exact same as everyone else that really plays at middle linebacker who's not this monster at stopping the run. He's Ryan Shazier. He's Derek Brooks. He's Deion Jones. All these cards are very, very similar. I really like Ed Reed, but if you didn't have him, I wouldn't tell you to go run out and buy him to play linebacker, because he's not all that different than anyone else, honestly. Up next, this card is great at rushing the passer, obviously, but he is pretty good to user. 6'6", 86 speed, 89 acceleration. He's got really good jumping. 91 jump with 6'6" is really good. This card he plays awesome. He's a great card. He really is a great card. He's perfect for what you would really want to do. He's essentially that Kellen Winslow, that limited edition one, with a little less catchy, right? And I haven't actually played with LaDainian Tomlinson at linebacker, though I have heard a lot of people say good things. But since I haven't played with him, I don't know. And I know we covered Vic before, but here's Vic again. He's so good. He's so good. Look, oh my gosh, so good. Michael is so good. Right, let's look at his stats here, fully boosted. You need to see that to truly see how good he is. 95 speed, 96 man, 91 zone, 87 play rec, 85 catching. Just plays bananas for me. I played with this team for a weekend league, all weekend long. I went 21-4 with crappy block shedding corners. Michael Vick had more pick sixes this weekend than any other player I have had on any other weekend. We'll say that. Now, the other cards that we've actually tested out, but I don't have on the team anymore, it's not necessarily that they're bad. It's more that They don't really fit with what I want to do. Which I think is fair to say, right? OP quality 92 to 93. Where are you? Kellen Winslow. 3 to 2 of them. This card, honestly, played really well for me. Really well. He's honestly one of the best users in the game. Easily. But for a scheme like mine where I'm really will user up to 6 or 7 different people on the defense depending on what I think my opponent's doing, I didn't have a use for just leaving this card on the field by himself. He does fine. His coverage is almost there. If he had 91 zone, he would have stayed on the team 100%. But he doesn't. But he does get really good animations when someone throws at him. The problem is he's not going to necessarily get in front of the ball, but someone has to throw the ball at him. And if that happens, then he gets a great animation. Otherwise, he was a little invisible by himself in the pass game. In the run game, he actually seemed to break on the ball very well. But I prefer Bo Jackson there, right? I've played against wide receiver Dion. I wouldn't get a wide receiver without playmaker. For this price, no. Now, this card. This card is, he's pretty glitchy, honestly. He's pretty glitchy. I would like to add him to my team still. I just haven't, and I don't know. He's actually a good tight end. He's actually a good tight end. And he is like that tight end Donald Penn that we had in Madden 25, the golden ticket. That's what this card feels like. And if you guys remember how good that card was, I think this is pretty similar. But those are all the cards I've actually used. Right? There's some I haven't used, and I don't want to cover them. But I think that I've used the cards which I would consider best and have the best idea. I think everyone needs to go pick up Atwater, Clark, Krause, Julio, and Landon instantly for their team. We have a lot of coins, little coins. Those cards are great plays. And even if you're just getting them for depth, because depth is key, because what I was able to do with a lot of this promo is I had sort of expensive backups, right? So I had like the Vic Beasley, because I'm a Falcons fan. Well, I sold him, and I was able to get both of these guys, right? I had someone else, just building depth, right? Really good promo to add a bunch of cards to your team. Honestly, it was. The promo felt a little dead because everything sort of came out at one time, and then we had the limited editions, and a lot of them didn't pop or they weren't very sexy. But the promo itself, slightly disappointing, but the actual cards we got were great. Now, my man Gus had a long talk with me about this. What would have made the promo better? And it truly is as simple as they picked the wrong players to give the good stats to versus not. And what we mean by that is if instead of doing LaDainian Tomlinson, middle linebacker, what if the 92 was a Julio Jones free safety, Julio Jones running back? Right? What if instead of doing Steve Atwater here as an 89, what if he was a little higher up? Right? Jason Taylor, did we really need to do this one? What if it was Landon Collins? 91 overall linebacker, 91 overall tight end. You would have got a lot more cards that you truly desire and truly want. What about Terrell Pryor quarterback, Terrell Pryor middle linebacker instead of LaDainian Tomlinson? A 6'6 linebacker and TP as a quarterback again would have been an amazing. They picked the right players. They just put them in the wrong spots. They didn't give them the right overalls. Gronk middle linebacker, Keenan Allen safety, Patrick Peterson wide receiver, which is a throwback to Madden 25. Le'Veon Bell wide. Like, they could have made these cards just a bit better. I think the overalls could have been higher. I think that they could have taken out some of the legends from some of this stuff, and maybe instead of doing, like a Kellen Winslow line. Like, I would have liked to see Paul Krause, this 90 overall cornerback, just be a card in packs, you know? I know there was a lot of value, but I think they could have just done a lot more with how they picked the cards and how they actually built the overalls and done stuff with it. This is a long video. This is going to be 20 minutes. So thank you all for stopping by. Again, link down below for the Twitter. Let's go viral with that. And I need a question for you guys today. And I don't know. Man, I don't know. I would say, for me personally, because I'm going to be leaving cookies for Santa tonight. Myself. I'm going to eat them. We're putting out Oreos. What kind of cookies did you, or do you still, leave for Santa? I'm out.